Today we're gonna start our Unit 2 portion of our course where we're gonna be learning about actors, okay? So we're gonna start a new unit, so the best thing we can do is just to start a brand new project. So remember, if you need a refresher about starting your own project, just go on Games, let's select blank. These settings are fine. Let's give it the project name Unit 2. I think it's fine. Well, it cannot contain space. Let me put an underscore in there. Create. Okay. So let's give it 1 second while my level gets created. It should take a few seconds. Okay, so for this unit, we're gonna be learning mostly how to work with actors. So actors are basically similar to objects. Okay, so remember on unit 1, we were talking about manipulating objects. So on Unreal Engine, the way that they call objects are basically actors. So we're gonna learn more in depth about how we can manipulate these objects, these actors. Okay, so I think my Unreal Engine should have loaded up. So remember, from default, the Unreal Engine gives you this map here, but we don't want to use this one. So go on File, New Level. Let's start with the basic one. And then we should have this that we're probably more familiar with at this point. Okay, so as I was saying, we are gonna be manipulating actors, which so far in the course we were calling them objects. It's also fine to call them like that. It's just that on Unreal Engine, as you can see, the real name is actor. Okay, so basically for actors, we're gonna have two different types. If we go, if we take a look here, one of the types is the static mesh. Okay, static mesh, I mentioned that on previous unit, but it's basically a object that is static that won't move. Okay, it's basically a 3D object that stays fixed in our game. Okay, and then additionally we have something that is called skeletal mesh. Okay, so we have static mesh and then skeletal mesh. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can give you like an example of uh, skeletal mesh. Sorry, I get confused with the pronunciation, which is this one, skeletal mesh. Okay, well, actually, because we started a brand new project, we don't have really anything here. So let's do the same we did last time. Let's add the content starter pack. Remember, we did that on previous unit. Let's go ahead and do that so that we can have some items to manipulate. Okay. Okay, so I think that should have been enough. So now, using the filter, and remember we learned how to use the filters, let's go ahead and select skeletal mesh. Okay, so skeletal mesh, as you can see, is gonna be something a little bit differently. Skeletal mesh is used mostly for animations because what is exactly is a skeletal mesh? It's an object that actually is able to move, that actually changes in shape as the program runs. Okay, so skeletal mesh is going to be used mostly on animation. That's why we can see that this skeletal mesh here is kind of like a person, like a little, yeah, like a character. That's because this character is meant to be moved around and animated. So, just as a summary of for this video, remember we have static mesh for the regular static objects that we already learned from previous unit, and then skeletal, which is more for animation. For this course, we're gonna be focusing more on the static ones. So we're gonna be working more with these ones. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put a chair back again because I wanna show you something here really quick. When you are working with static meshes, actually if you go here on the details panel, you see how I have the chair selected. I can actually change the static mesh of that object. So let's say I have this chair, but I don't want the chair anymore. I want the couch. You see, I can just click on the couch, and what's happening here is that the object, the actor itself, it's still the same. I just changed the static mesh for that actor. Okay, so as you can see, you don't necessarily have to like create a brand new object and a brand new actor every time. You can replace the mesh, the static mesh, by using the details panel. Okay, I'm gonna change it. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna leave the couch for now. But as you can see, just a quick introduction for this unit.